Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's a money mindset meets real talk, and of course, a fellow podcaster, none other than me, Shari Rash. Welcome, Miss Shari, on
Hi,
Book
thanks for
101.
having me.
Yes, welcome on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, I am a money mindset expert, personal finance coach. I'm the host of Everyone's Talking Money, which is a New York Times top four money podcast where everyone how to buy funds. We're not just talking budgeting, talking about how money and affects everything in our lives. So really breaking down why money can be such a icky topic to so many people and why we're not comfortable talking about money.
Yes, money, come to me, Miss Shari Ross. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about from shame to strategy, how to rewrite your money story at any age. So, tell us, let's start with the core concept. What exactly is a money story, and how do we often unconsciously inherit from our family on early experiences?
So the quickest and easiest way, in my opinion, to identify what your money story is I'm going to ask a question rhetorically, but think of it in your head. One, when I say the word money, what comes to mind? And those first words will tell your relationship with money. If it's stress, if it makes me I don't like it, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it, that tells us that you have a pretty negative relationship with money. So right there, that's kind of the fork in the road. Are we do we think about money more we think about it more negatively? Then another question I ask is what is first money memory? And not necessarily from when you were a young child, but whatever memory comes to you first that you think of. So, money memory, whatever is that strongest me, it could be something negative of, well, parents arguing about money. I remember going to the store with my mom and asking her for a toy, and she told me we can't afford that. Um, it's stuff like that. If again, is it negative or is it positive? I remember when my mom allowed me to empty out my piggy bank and go to the store and buy whatever I wanted, and that was just such a happy moment. So again, it's the fork in the road. Are you leaning more towards positive experiences or negative a negative experience as your first money memory? So again, what words do you think of when I say the word money combined with what's your first money memory? That'll help determine what your relationship with money is and your mindset towards it.
Interesting, Miss Shari. And shame, or the title of shame. Why is shame is such common yet paralyzing emotion tied to money, and how does it people stuck?
Yeah, so we attach a lot of shame to money. We attach our value, our self worth to money. We somehow think money is a reflection, our money is a reflection of who we are, when that's not the case at all. But it's just what we do. It's natural. It's human. So we'll often think of. the money in our bank account, we may not have enough. So then that's shameful because it'll make us feel like less than person, or I haven't achieved as much in my life that I wanted to, and that makes us feel less than. Um, or if you make good money, if you have money, if you've done well, that could also create shame because you could feel like, well, I don't deserve this. Like this, I didn't necessarily work as hard as the next guy for this, and feel shame around that. So shame can come from so many different places, but a lot of it is, again, how we grew up with money and what our mindset is around money.
What is our mindset for money? It will affect everything, people. And what are some of the most common money story narratives you hear, like there's never enough, or money is the root of all evil, and how they manifest in people financial behaviors?
Yeah, so when I'm working with women, or when I'm speaking to women, especially about what I do for work, they'll say like, "Oh, I'm terrible with money," or "My husband handles all of our money. I have no I don't know what's going on. He has a spreadsheet and he tracks everything." So those are really common money mindsets of just like sticking our head in the sand. And what why that's an issue is because you need to have some awareness of your money. Even if you don't want to know the ins and outs of it every single day, or if you don't want to know completely how it's invested, you don't want to watch the stock market, that's fine. You at least need to know what you have in a partnership. You need to know what you have, what your spouse or partner has. So many women just saying, "Well, I'm not good at money." That's often because money finance wasn't built for women. It wasn't built by women. It was built by men. And men and women speak a very different language when it comes to money. Men are very performance focused. So, how did my account perform? What were my numbers? And women think about money more of what can it do for me? So, can it help me achieve my goals? So, if a husband and wife or a man and woman are speaking about money, they're literally speaking two different languages to each other. But the problem is the woman leaves the conversation going, "I have no idea what they just said. That that must mean I don't understand money because they clearly understand it, and what they're saying just doesn't click with me." Where conversely, the man's leaving the conversation going, she doesn't care about performance. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what anything about money. But again, they're just speaking two different languages. It's like someone speaking French and Portuguese. Like they're two completely different languages, and they're both correct in what they're saying to each other, but they're not going to understand each other. So the financial world, because it is male dominated, speaks in more of a male language, which right there makes it very intimidating for women to enter because it's just not our language. So it is important for women to understand that first, and that's not a reflection of them. It's just a reflection of what's going on. So just because what they're hearing when it comes to money doesn't necessarily click, that's not their fault. It doesn't mean they're bad with money, doesn't mean they shouldn't be involved. They just need to find someone that speaks the same language that they do. And sometimes it helps by just starting with someone that's the same gender, because again, there's a higher probability that they're going to be speaking the same language as you. So then, just by finding someone that speaks the language of you makes the topic right there way more approachable and less intimidating. So the barrier to entry is lower. So we could already feel more confident and remove the shame or the guilt or all that junk that we have when it comes to money. We can start to chip away at that.
Interesting indeed. And how can someone start to identify their own hidden money story? And what are the clues in their current financial habits? Stress points on self talk.
Yeah, so I can give a couple examples like everyone has a money personality. And again, your money personality, a hint towards what your money personality is can be answered by those questions I asked at the beginning of our conversation. When I say the word money, what do you think of? What were your first money memories? So if someone says, well, I heard my parents argue about money or there was never enough, they may have more of a miser type of relationship with money. They may feel guilty every time they spend money, or they may become what I call a money hoarder, meaning they just want to keep on accumulating, accumulating, accumulating because they feel like they're never going to have enough. So, one way to identify, like, am I a money hoarder? Do you say to yourself, well, once I get my bank account or my investment account up to a certain dollar amount, then I can go on vacation. Then I can do the home renovation. Then it feels like your life can start once your bank account hits a certain number. But then oftentimes with money hoarders, the bank account hits that number, but it's still not good enough. Well, I said 50,000, but I really mean 60,000. Then it'll be better. Then it'll be okay. So the carrot is always dangling in front of you. And that again could be as a result of of your parents saying we can't afford that or feeling like you can't afford that. So that's where that hoarding could come from. Or conversely, I've worked with people that are spenders. They just want to spend everything because they grew up hearing we can't afford that and they to never want to repeat those words out of their mouth. So, looking at what your money habits are, do you find you're more of a spender? Do you find you're a hoarder? Do you say things like, well, you can't take it with you. I'm just going to, use it all up now? Um, do you find that you are charitable? Like, are you quicker to give towards charities or do you spend money on experiences over things? So, looking at how you spend money, how you save money. And there's a fine line between saving money and hoarding money. There's also a fine line between being a spender and just spending money. Like a spender is like you can never buy enough. You can never get enough. Your bank account goes down to zero regularly and then gets filled back up and it goes right back down again. You're only catering to today you, not future you. So again, there's fine lines between all of these personalities, and sometimes you can be a combination of them all. But if you really look at your habits, your financial habits, if you stick your head in the sand often, you don't get involved, you need to reflect on, well, why is that? Like why do I not want to get involved? Do I feel like this isn't for me? Or again, if you're hoarding, why is that? So looking at your habits when it comes to your finances, and sometimes asking someone else, like your spouse or partner, like, "Hey, how do you think I am with money?" And like them saying bad or good is not helpful, but them saying like, "Yeah, you tend to maybe buy things when you're a little bit emotional or you avoid the topic, you don't talk about it." That can also be a helpful hint into your relationship or your money personality.
Interesting, Miss Shari. So, as a fellow podcaster and money mindset, what are your short term and long term goals?
My short-term goal is really to just get more people listening to everyone's talking money and also talking about money. We tend to think that talking about money means sharing all the personal information about our finances when that's not the case at all. I talk about money all day, every day. and it doesn't, I do not reveal my personal information. No one will know how much I have in a checking account, a savings account, investment account. So really a long-term goal is removing the stigma of talking about money. We can talk about money without it revealing anything personal. We don't have to share our bank account info, like I said, but it talking about money, everyone deals with money every single day. Everyone has goals, everyone has fears and concerns when it comes to money. And talking about those things makes money more approachable. It makes us more vulnerable because it is a vulnerable topic. So that helps to deepen relationships. So my short-term goal is getting more people listening to everyone's talking money, to help clear out that money junk that we have. And then I guess a lifetime goal, if you will, is to remove the stigma around talking about money.
Indeed, and good luck to your goals, and looking forward for more success. And Miss Shari, what would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be a podcast host as well as a mindset coach?
For someone that wants to be a podcast host, um, one, what is your scope of genius? What value can you bring? Everyone can bring value everywhere. So really focusing on the value that you can bring as a host, and really honing in on that. Podcasting, as you know, Daniel, is a lot harder than it looks. It's not just talking into a microphone. So getting sharp with what your focus is, what you're going to talk about, having a clear vision for your podcast is super important. Um, is essential if you want to become a podcast host. And then as far as mindset goes, having clear mindset with money, in my case, understanding the personal relationships you have with money, how it affects you, how it affects your partner, how it affects your children, is essential as well.
Thank you for that advice, Miss Shari. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yeah, so if we want to talk about some personal finance books, because that, since we're talking about money, I enjoy Clever Girl Finance is a great book. The Psychology of Money. So if we're talking about money mindset, right there. And Money Skills for Teens is another great book that I've enjoyed and has helped my money conversations.
Well, thank you for that recommended book, Miss Shari. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101 Love Letters in the third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So finally, Ms. Shari, what does financial freedom truly feel like when it's built on the foundation of rewritten money story?
Yeah, true financial freedom is not having the junk that we have with money. So that doesn't mean having an unlimited amount of money. It doesn't mean hitting a certain amount in your bank account or your investment account. True financial freedom is living your life without the worry of money. And the worry of money is just all of that baggage that we bring with us. So acknowledging your money personality, acknowledging your shame or whatever you carry when it comes to money, and building your life with awareness around it. Your money choices are aware of your money personality and the way you think of it. That is true financial freedom, because that will then allow you to achieve financial success.
Miss Shari Rash, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your podcast, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yep. Everyone's Talking Money is my podcast. You can follow me wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Shari Rash, because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering episodes of the podcast itself. So, Miss Shari, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Monica, people, see you soon.